My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law right here in Michigan, so please subscribe to our channel. Should you change your lawyer? Have you become disenchanted with your lawyer? Is there a legitimate reason for you to continue to shop even though you already hired a lawyer? Well, these are questions that come up all the time. I will tell you this. Usually people search for a lawyer and they do it in one of several ways. They may talk to a lot of people. They may speak to different lawyers and make a selection. They may read reviews and find a firm that has hundreds of five-star reviews and they go with that firm. Those are all legitimate ways of picking your lawyer. But once you have your lawyer, you need to understand one thing. Your case is like a baseball game. It has, unless there's extra innings, 9 innings. And during that 9 innings, sometimes one team is up, one team is down. There's a seesaw back and forth. One team is ahead, one team is behind. And it flip-flops. Your litigation is the same way. You're going to win some battles, walk away from the Zoom meeting or the courthouse feeling great. You're going to have other times when you walk away from the courthouse, you don't feel so great. Is that a reason to change your lawyer? No. Your lawyer it can't predict the future. Your lawyer cannot guarantee what the judge is going to do. No matter how good that case is, and no matter how prepared the lawyer is, if that judge decides that he or she doesn't believe you and the other person's more credible, you're probably going to lose that case. So, if things are not going your way, should you change lawyers? No, because just the fact that things may not be going your way is not in and of itself a reason to, to show the court you have that level of instability where you're switching lawyers all of a sudden. You're not supposed to do that. It doesn't create a good impression with the court. You should, switch lawyers if your lawyer becomes disbarred. You should, if your lawyer becomes mentally incompetent. If you find out that your lawyer has a profound conflict of interest. If you find that your lawyer, stole something or whatever, of course you should switch lawyers for that. But if you're just going to switch lawyers because you decide that you can't yell at your wife, so now you want to yell at your lawyer and blame everything on him or her, that's not the way to do it. Okay, you picked that lawyer because you believed that he or she could help you, that firm would be beside you. So let them do their job. If you start with this case and 3 weeks in decide, I called, on Friday and my lawyer didn't call me back till Monday, I'm switching. Well, you know what? That would be really foolish. Here you're calling your lawyer, they're returning your calls and keeping communication with you all along. Now you call Friday afternoon at Friday at 7 p.m. and expect a call. This is on you. You've got to look at your goals, you got to look at your objectives, and you got to find a lawyer that has the same vision of how it should work. If you find that guy, if you find that woman, you find that lawyer that has the same vision, stay with them. You think the grass is always greener, and you will find that if you have 4 lawyers in a case, the first one was the best one, the second one was probably the second best one, the third one the third best one, and the fourth one the worst one. I mean, that's going to, and it has to be that way. Because that fourth lawyer can't possibly be as prepared as the first lawyer was because he hasn't lived with the case long enough. I've had the experience of having people hire lawyers in the middle of a trial. You know what that means? That means the whole discovery, the whole life cycle of the case went on without that lawyer. And they hire somebody else because they fire their lawyer. And the court says, you better get another lawyer. So they hire somebody else, and then they expect that lawyer to be able to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Meanwhile, you haven't filed witness lists, you haven't filed exhibit lists, you haven't done anything you're supposed to do, and the lawyer is now stuck with what you did, and now all of a sudden the client blames the lawyer and says, hey, well, how come I didn't get custody of my kid? How come this? How come that? You have to understand that you're creating instability the more lawyers you hire. Hire somebody, do your due diligence before you sign the retainer agreement. Do your due diligence before you pay them. Once you've done that, give them a chance to work. There's a reason why I hired them. Keep that in mind. So, should you fire your lawyer under limited extenuating circumstances? Yeah, you're always, you have a right to the counsel of your choice. But at the same time, understand that the more you exercise that right, the more instability you demonstrate to the court. And that creates a scenario with, let's say you're dealing with kids and the court realizes you have a certain instability. The court might think, well, this person goes through lawyers like crazy, he'll probably go through girlfriends like crazy. Is that good for the child to be rolling around in that instability for the next several years? So you always got to keep the big picture in mind on that issue as well. If you have any questions, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.